with TNA Rebellion of 2024, April 20th, 2024, in Paradise, Nevada, and the Palms Casino Resort, I should say, with the attendance of 1,150 fans in attendance. And basically the same venue they were in before, um, prior some other events they've been to as well. A small venue. Um, Again, they're trying to work their ways up. To eventually they will get more than 1,000 people in attendance during those times. Beforehand, but we'll see. But that being said, let's get right into it. Once I'm done giving you this TNA Rebellion results for 2024, I will jump right into what happened afterwards on TNA Impact. So first off, there was 3 pre-show matches. Only saw 2 of them because I didn't know they did one of them, and the one that they did was the 6-minute tag team match, 9 minutes and 5 seconds it lasted, with ABC, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay teaming up with Leon Slater. They went against the Rascals of Trey, Wentz, and Reed. And yeah, ABC and Leon Slater winning the match. Then we get to the second pre-show match, which features for the TNA Digital Media Championship. 8 minutes and 40 seconds it lasted. Laredo Kid, the challenger, versus the champion, Crazy Steve. In the match, I thought it was pretty solid. Excuse me. And Laredo Kid, of my surprise, he won. And now he is the new TNA Digital Media Champion. So, then following that was a tag team match for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. 10 minutes and 30 seconds lasted, with Spitfire, Danny Luna, and Jody Dredd. And they were accompanied by some guy named Lars Frederiksen, as they went against Decay of Havoc and Rosemary. This is basically Decay's rematch clause that they invoked, and when it comes to Master Slamovich and Killer Kelly, when it came to them being MK Ultra, that's not a thing anymore because Killer Kelly is now gone from the company. And Master Slamovich needs a new partner, and that way she could get her opportunity for the tag titles. Doesn't matter who wins all these matches, but in the way, it was Spitfire getting the win over on Decay. So as I mentioned, Master Slamovich, where she needs a new partner, because they did a story, coming into the pay-per-view, was that Alicia Edwards is basically suggesting volunteering to be Master Slamavich's partner because Kid Curry's no longer around, and to take off the offer, and not to be part of the system, but just for it's just business in a way. So it doesn't mean that Master Slamovich should be part of the system. And well, in this case, I don't know if that's gonna be the case or not, but we'll see. But that ended up happening with Alicia Edwards and Master Slamovich not becoming partners to face Spitfire for the TNA World Knockouts Tag Team Championships, or try to say the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. And that was a pre-show. And let me do something here, folks. Where is the lighting? Just want to do that, just for editing purposes. So, we open up the show for TNA Rebellion of 2024 with the TNA X Division Championship. That's at 11 minutes and 30 seconds, with the champion Mustafa Ali versus the challenger Jake something. In the match, it was pretty good, a pretty good opener between these two, with Mustafa Ali winning the match, as we figured he would. So it was very competitive, and Jake something really showcased what he can do. Obviously, he's pretty damn good. So obviously, we all knew he was going to be showcasing what he can do in the match. But Mustafa Ali, it was pretty good. And I think Mustafa Ali may have been busted open in this match too. By the way, I could be wrong, but I think he was bleeding in the match here. ain't the first time we see him bleed before. Last time we saw him bleed in the match, it was against Hiroshi Tana. I mean, Hiromu Takahashi, and it was similar here as well. It tends to match against Jake something here, where he is a bleeding in the match too. It wasn't like how bad it was from against Hiromu, but he was open up pretty it was very noticeable that he was open up, but he still ends up winning. Then we get to Rich Swann being accompanied by AJ Francis as first class. They were up against, well, Rich Swann went up against Joe Hendry. 7 minutes and 30 seconds lasted. Didn't really care about the match that much. I barely watched it, but I just saw how it ended. It was shenanigans with some group of people that were in the crowd. I'm assuming they're also part of AJ Francis group. And there's one guy I don't remember who he was, but he was involved as well. Apparently he was a big name somewhere in maybe in NFL where I think I'm assuming I forgot. I'll remember. I mean I'll look it up to see, but um but in fact let me do it right now. I went to the wrong one. There we go. Probably won't take me long to find it to see. All right, here we go. Someone named Marilyn Jaw. I'm assuming that's his name. I don't know. But the point is, he got involved and he basically, pretend he was part of. He's on the side with Joe Hendry, and then he turns on Joe Hendry, and and then all of a sudden, Rich Swann, picked up, basically, also referee was distracted too and all. So shenanigans happened, but wasn't too much of shenanigans in a way. So there you go. And then we get to Full Metal Mayhem. That's a 15 minutes and 20 seconds with TNA Originals, Frankie Kazarian, and Eric Young. And the match itself was pretty, is what it lived to what it was going to be, with Full Metal Mayhem, with a metal object in the match. You even had EY introducing Janice, going back to the days of the Monster Abyss, with the 2x4 with the nail sticking out. And you also had, I think you also had Thumbtacks involved too. I can't remember if you had Thumbtacks in there, but let's also about the other match if that did happen in another match. Yeah, I think it may have the other match. But I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly which match it was that happened in it. But I'm assuming it was during this match though. But in the end, it was we get to a scary moment where Frankie Kazarian, he did his move off the top to Eric Young. It was basically the finish to the match. And it really ended up being a real finish in the match because after happened to Eric Young, because I guess they didn't get to close to the table, what tends to be in the center, and then all of a sudden they got to that close to the edge of the table, and then from there, Eric Young, from the back of his ear, was slit open to a point where it was coming off of his head, and obviously he was gushing blood. It was, you see a pool of blood on the mat, and Frankie Kazarian gets the win on him, and then referees, ENTs coming out, and I think you saw Tommy Dreamer come in. I'm assuming I saw it was Tommy Dreamer that came in as well to check in on what happened with EY there, and it was that serious. They had rushed him to the hospital. And he was taken care of though. So he still got his ears on. He still has ear. They had the so back stitched up and everything. Though it was scary moment there. When that's what happened, I thought EY was dead. I was legitimately was worried about EY. I thought he was dead because I saw nothing but blood pouring out from his head. I thought because and he wasn't moving too. When it happened, he was his eyes closed. I thought he was dead. Thank God he wasn't. So Um, but Frankie Kazarian didn't win. So then we get to a match that came out of nowhere. It was Steve Macklin, and Steve Macklin comes out, said he's signed a contract, but because he's going he wants to stay with TNA Wrestling, and he said that he everything that he demanded is in his contract except for one thing. He wants to have a match, and he gets a match, and that's when he has Santino Marella coming out, who is the director of Authority. He basically said you're going to be wrestling someone who also has signed a contract, and he's making his return, and it ended up being the return of Mike Santana, the former Santana from AEW, pertains to Proud and Powerful, and the Inner Circle, and whom used to be in TNA Wrestling, when pertains to being LEX. But he came in during the time when, quote unquote, that TNA was dead. Fuck you, Bruce Pritchard. So the point is, he was there before, and here he is, and obviously he was there because of the group of LEX and a tag team, and now here he is as a singles. Mike Santana makes his return. He came through the crowd, by the way. That's gonna be his thing now, by the way. He's gonna come through the crowd, and he's for the people. He's gonna be with the people in a way. Future world champion, by the way, folks. Future world champion in this company, TNA Wrestling. It's gonna happen. Future world champion in Mike Santana. It might not happen this year, but it's gonna happen eventually. I'd love to see him go after the X Division Championship. Maybe he could be the guy to beat Mustafa Ali when or not comes up. Maybe at Summerversary. Maybe at Bound for Glory. Who knows? The point is, we're gonna see Mike Santana making drives a lot in TNA Wrestling now that he's back as a singles competitor. So this match happens. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Very very good match. Other two, and Mike Santana gets the win. Where he costed his finishing move, the rolling dice, I think it was, which is basically him doing a running distance lariat, and he gets the win on Steve Macklin. And it's still based on what I'm seeing with Steve Macklin and Mike Santana, it's going to continue on, which I'm happy for that, because I don't want this to be a one-off doom. A one-off doom, a one-off thing. I want this to continue on, and see where it goes from there. Because obviously Mike Santana versus Steve Macklin, they could give us a lot more than just having Steve Macklin come out there and wants a match against someone, and then Mike Santana makes his return and everything. So I want this to be more built, and see where the story will lead up to the next time they wrestle each other on a pay-per-view, or wherever they want to do with them. So then we get to a tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. 12 minutes and 50 seconds with the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, champions, coming by Alicia Edwards, versus Speedball Mountain, which is Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. And the match I thought was pretty decent, and they started picking up, and it ends up being pretty good. And in the end, obviously, it was the System getting the win. Was not expecting us, Speedball Mountain to win, because the System, which is Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, they just won the tag belts. What makes sense for them to lose it, so it was the right outcome. Good match though, good match. Then we get to the last man standing match. 19 minutes and 50 seconds it lasted. This is the only match that was the longest match on the show, next to the World Championship match, which we'll get to. So it was Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone, and this match, holy shit, this was a very good last man standing match. I mean, it's not like other last man standing matches I've seen before, but tends to being better than it, but it was up there to be one of a very good last man standing match between these two guys. And in the end, Josh Alexander ends up winning. As I figured he would, because they're not gonna have Hammerstone beat him again. And on top of that, it keeps Hammerstone protected because he didn't get pinned, he didn't submit. This is the last man standing, so that's the only way you can lose the match, by not getting up at the count of 10. So they had to give this win to Josh Alexander. So right outcome there. And in the process of it, Josh Alexander got his headgear back. So, there you go. And you get to the TNA Knockouts World Championship. 12 minutes and 15 seconds lasted, with Jordan Grace defending the title against Steph D. Lander, who was supposed to be being covered by Matt Cardona, but Matt Cardona, for those that should know, or that should know this, he had his pec muscle torn up, so got tore of his muscle. I mean, got tore off his bones, I should say. So he's gonna be gone for a while. And who was to be in the corner? Steph D. Lander. It was the Good Hands, Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. So the match happens, and it's being pretty good. And then we get into shenanigans when it comes to TNA. So at this point, we had a referee being taken out. It was a referee bump. Referee was not responsive. Was Steph D. Lander on like she's going to get the win on Jordan Grace. And then he had Jason Hotch, who took the referee shirt off of this referee, puts it on. He goes to the count, and then the lights goes out. Kind of like this. Even though I got the TV on here, but basically kind of like this. Again, ignore the TV, thing, but you get my point. But the lights went out, and I was supposed to believe with Jason Hotch, making the count. He also stops counting because the lights went out. Unless someone appears in the ring and was holding his hand, which that wasn't the case, by the way, I would have believed it. Of why he didn't continue on counting. So the lights reappear, and there he was, as I figured who it was going to be, PCO. Otherwise, who else could have been, So it was PCO, and there he was, standing there in the ring, not grabbing the hand of Jason Hotch, who's going to make that 3 count. So yeah, there goes that logic out the window. So obviously, PCO takes out the Good Hands, and then he has Steph D. Lander was flirting with PCO. PCO don't know what to make of this. Also, we get Khan coming out and attacks PCO, and Jordan Grace try to help, and then Jordan Grace gets taken out by Khan. I think we'll also with Steph D. Lander getting involved too as well. And then Khan was going to get ready to snap the neck of Jordan Grace like he did before with with Cody Deaner, with Angel, Alan Angels, and try even PCO. PCO he did before too, not once but twice, and PCO's in the process of it sold it, but then all of a sudden he no sells it. So he's gonna do it with Jordan Grace here, and then the lights goes out, and I was saying to myself again, he's got Jordan Grace in a position to snap her neck, and the lights went out, and I'm like, what's stopping you from Stu snapping her neck? I'm just saying. Unless someone stopped him, but that wasn't the case at all, because when the lights appear, obviously that person who showed up did not stop Kong for try to snap her neck and everything. Because again, they want to do the whole thing where lights goes out, lights go on, and then you see someone there, and then you hear that crowd reaction of who's there. So lights come on, and I don't remember what position they were in when between the whole thing, but in a way, and I guess that's supposed to be the thing, by the way, it tends to why they didn't get the job done, because apparently when the lights goes out, they're afraid of the dark. So at least that's the logic I come up with at this point. But but it ends up being the return of Sami Callihan. So yes, Sami Callihan after now seeing what's going on right now, I thought it was gonna be a one-off thing, but that's not a one-off thing. Sami Callihan has now officially come back to TNA Wrestling, even though he was there when TNA Wrestling was gonna become TNA Wrestling, and then he has to come back now. And I'm like, okay, why didn't he just stay in the first place? Why did he leave to begin with? Because I remember he appeared on MLW. I remember something about him, just go have him work behind the scenes for AEW. I guess he didn't want that, whatever. Even though he could do that either way, but still, and still perform. I mean, they had Jeff Jarrett do it. Why not have Sammy Callahan do it too? I don't know what's the issue with that one, or you know, but either way, Sam Callahan's back. The Death Machine's back in TNA, and I'm glad he's back. So he helps out Jordan Grace, and Jordan Grace in the match with Steph Denner continues. Referee, we get a new referee, I should say. Cause I don't know how to be the old referee, unless he got taken away. While the whole lights off, lights out thing that happened. But Jordan Grace is again the Juggernaut driver onto Steph Denner and gets the win, and still your TNA Knockouts World Champion. By the way, I forgot to mention this too. By the way, before the match even started, you have the personal consular for Trash by Elegance. They were up the balcony, wherever, watching the match and everything. They showed maybe once or twice as watching the match, and that was it. They were basically a non-factor. So I don't know. I didn't get why they had to show them in the first place. They were not even a non-factor in the first place. So, but anyways, Jordan Grace wins, she retains, and there you go. And I don't know if they're going to continue that program because Stephanie Lander, I feel like she was cheated and all that. Which we'll get to more of that when we get to, the aftermath and all that. I'm assuming that's on that show, or this is happening on the other show. I can't remember, but we'll get back to that. And finally, the main event for the TNA World Championship, 17 minutes and 10 seconds. Moose, representing the system of, goes up against Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth brought back the way he always has here before, pertains to being all wavy, spaghetti. That's what people will say. Looking at spaghetti, a spaghetti like a type of hair dude he always have. I don't mind that type of hairstyle. So yeah. But Nick Nemeth brought the hair back, and Moose and Nick Nemeth had the match, pretty damn good match, and in the end, it was Moose getting the win. And we'll talk more about that too, by the way, which is this whole match that happened. It's something really interesting happened with this match. Because how the match ended, which I didn't know at the time until TNA Impact, which is the aftermath, the fallout of Rebellion. So yeah, so Moose gets the win as I thought he would. Even if Nick Nemeth won the match and won the championship, I still wouldn't mind it. It was good, a damn good match. It could have went either way, and it showcased very good what both these guys are made of. So at the match, obviously you get the system on the stage, celebrating while Moose is in the ring celebrating. Same thing like they did from back for Hard to Kill. Because apparently the system are afraid to get into the ring to celebrate with Moose, like they were before, and here we are again, and all of a sudden, the screen, the Timetron was messing up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, I don't remember how he appeared. I don't think it was the whole lights out, or lights. I think it was. Maybe it was. I can't remember. But the point is, we get Matt Hardy in the ring as broken Matt Hardy. Tony Khan, you're an idiot. Just want to say that. So yeah, broken Matt Hardy is back. And he attacks Moose, and he wants to be the TNA World Champion. So there you go. That's how the show ended, by the way. I'm glad Matt Hardy's back. I'm glad Matt Hardy, not just as Matt Hardy, but as broken Matt Hardy. Something that we've been calling for the longest time. And for whatever reason, Tony Khan was the one who did not like the Matt Hardy stuff. Of him being broken Matt Hardy. So he give it to us for the time being, for that time, and then it slowly ends up taking that away from us, and we end up getting garbage Matt Hardy with big money Matt, and then that was bad all around, with Andrade being involved as well, and then Matt Hardy ends up being turned on, and then we had Jeff Hardy coming in, and they tried to do the whole thing with the Hardy Boys. With those obviously with their out their primes, and obviously Jeff Hardy screwed that up. And I don't know what's going on with Jeff Hardy of his status of his contract within AEW right now, but Matt Hardy's now gone for TNA. He's been gone for a while for TNA, for AEW I should say. He's been gone from AEW for that long. I don't know how long, but he's been gone for quite a while. And here he is back in TNA. I doubt though that it was going to bring him back. By the way, I mean they probably would have brought him back, but they're not so certain about Jeff Hardy though. So they're gonna play it safe and all that for Matt Hardy, in TNA, and eventually when Jeff Hardy comes in to TNA as well, because I'm pretty sure he will eventually. Because let's face it, Jeff Hardy ain't doing much in the AEW anyways, that much because, well, obviously most of it is his fault, but still. But even after he came back, what have been doing with them ever since? They haven't done that with them ever since. So there you go. But there you go. That was the show. Overseas to TNA Rebellion of 2024. My overall rate of the show, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Have it been an amazing show with out the match with Steve, with Rich Swann and Joe Hendry, I probably would give it a 10 out of 10. But then again, I'm not so sure because that Knockouts title match was ridiculous. The last thing I ever want to see a match like that happening, with that type of shenanigans happening, is a Knockouts championship match, and it did. Whatever. But there you go. But yeah, I'll give it 9 out of 10 though. 9 out of 10. And I'll conclude your TNA Rebellion of 2024 results.